vastly improving their health. Their lives will become stable as the crisis of life on the streets has been removed. As I mentioned, we're here to raise funds, and this year the need for fundraising is more dire. Each month we need to raise approximately $8,500 for a van outreach and housing program that translates to $102,000 a year. That's a significant increase from even last year, as we've experienced significant cuts at both the federal and the state level. At the state level, we've experienced basically a cut of $42,000 in funding, and that's out of a budget for the housing program of $400,000. For $400,000 each year, we provide permanent housing for 30 individuals, and that translates to $13,000 per person. And when you calculate the costs of incarceration, which is in excess of $40,000, treatment, detox, emergency room visits. I have a mental health background, so I know that for an individual to stay in a state psychiatric facility, that's $250,000 a year for one person. So what we do for $400,000 is pretty impressive. Providing permanent housing for 30 individuals. And so we're really facing a significant cut at the federal level through the Housing and Urban Development Section 8 program. Essentially what happened was the funding rate at which we initially operated back in 1999, we were informed last year that we were not essentially supposed to be receiving that rate through no fault of our own. And so it's been kind of a catastrophic cut that we have a bare bones budget. 95% of each dollar that we raise goes directly into programs, so there wasn't much fat to trim to begin with. So we're really scrambling. And at the state level, we received a $9,000 cut in our funding from the Homeless Housing Assistance Program. And at the Social Justice Center, we have letters, essentially model letters for your state senator or state assembly member that you can personalize and urge them to restore the cuts. Essentially, it's penny wise and pound foolish, that the money they may save in that program, they're going to more than spend double, triple in Medicaid, increased incarceration, emergency contacts, visits to detox, treatment, the whole 9 yards. So they're trying to save money in order to spend a lot more. So we urge you to write a letter to your senator and your state assembly member urging them to restore those cuts. We're honored to have a number of organizations who are here tonight and individuals. We have a number of elected officials. Congressman Paul Tonko is here. Executive Breslin. We have Albany County Council Member Dominic Calsolaro. County Council Member Mike O'Brien. County Council Member Anton Konev. We have representatives from St. Paul's Episcopal Church. From Jones Stewart School. We have students from the SUNY English Honors Society, Siena College, Hudson Valley, First Church of Albany, Albany College of Pharmacy, Catholic Charities, Bethlehem High School, and last but not least, the Unitarian Church. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker for this evening, our Congressman Paul Tonko.
Thank you, Sean. Everyone, it's an honor to stand with you this evening. And for those who are going to endure through the evening and through the night, the cold night, thank you for showing your compassion, your awareness, and your sensitivity. It is so important for us as a nation to respond to the needs of those that are cast to the edge and the perimeters of society, those who perhaps are the most voiceless in our society. You know, Sean talked about wise budgeting, the ability for us to take the resources of this country in a land of abundance and to put it to work in a way that responds to empathy and sensitivity, relating to the struggles that are made by individuals, is so very important in these difficult times. We We are a statement as a nation of who we are with the budget that we produce. And it is so important to make certain that our sisters and brothers who may struggle with alcoholism, those who may be mentally frail, those who have returned to this nation after having fought for our liberties, and those who perhaps are in the ranks of the unemployed or the uninsured. These are issues that need to be responded to. The homeless, the numbers in the homeless category in this country grow and grow. And it is important for us to work with organizations like HAC to make certain that we connect with compassion, with an understanding, with a full heart, to make certain that we can make life better for those who call home living in the streets. That is something that we need to continue to work away at. And so I'm here this evening in full voice with you to make certain that that voice for those who are most downtrodden in our society, that voice is heard in the halls of government. To be there in Washington to make certain that we speak loudly, forcefully, and intelligently on behalf of reducing the numbers of the homeless out there, and to make certain that programs like HAC can continue. There's no reason that they should go out and have to struggle like this to find the funds, when we in fact can prioritize correctly and make certain that programs are made available. I will continue to fight those battles with you. I am impressed by all of you being here this evening, and let us continue to march forward and empower those who are in the ranks of the homeless in our society. They need our voice, they need our help, they need our strength. We're there in partnership as communities, speaking in their defense and speaking for a brighter tomorrow. Thank you for pouring forth the hope that is so much necessary in the lives of so many who live hopeless. So thank you, Sean, and thank you to all. Let's hear it for Donna, too. It's great to be with all of you. I'm proud to serve you. I'm humbled by your support here this evening. It's wonderful for those who are homeless in our society.
Thank you, Congressman. Next, I'd like to introduce Albany County Executive Michael Breslin.
Thank you very much, Sean. I come here every year to be renewed, and renewed with the thought that somehow God makes it a little bit colder every night we come over. And it's good that he does that, because whatever questions you might have about, is anyone homeless because they want to be homeless?
No.
They sure as heck don't do it on nights like this. You know that it's on nights like this you see even more homeless. Not careful. And you know, there's so many people wander through this country and talk about human life. They talk about infants and they talk about health care. And if you listen to so many of them, they write off the people on the margins. The people who struggle, and for one reason or another, health, mental health, addiction, some sort of an accident or an injury that renders people in a situation where they become homeless. And they're thrown away. Where I work, there are funds that come down, and if someone is still drinking, we cannot help them. And if that isn't the cleanest message about, well, if someone's still drinking, let them off. No one does it better. No one reaches to everybody without questions better than Homeless Action. I salute all of you, Donna, Sean, Julie, all of you who come out regularly. And you volunteers who come.
I'm still drinking.
And once you see these individuals who are now at this point in their lives homeless, you realize they don't want to be there anymore.